Thank you for tuning in to the Introduction to Tools for Teachers training. This presentation will provide information about the new Tools for Teachers system that replaces the digital library as a part of Idaho's comprehensive assessment system. Tools for Teachers replaces the digital library and is available now for educators to explore and learn more about the resources it provides. Tools for Teachers offers a more streamlined interface, improved search features, and an easy-to-understand layout. Tools for Teachers can be accessed through the Idaho ISAT portal by clicking on the ELA Literacy and Math Assessments from the home page and then choosing Tools for Teachers. Alternatively, if you are already logged into another ISAT system, such as TIDE or TDS, you may use the drop-down on the top left of the screen to get to Tools for Teachers. All educators in Idaho who have been added to TIDE, or the Test Its Information Distribution Engine, by their district, has access to Tools for Teachers. If you are an educator in Idaho who is not added into TIDE, but would like access to Tools for Teachers, contact your district testing coordinator to get access. Tools for Teachers includes lessons, resources, and strategies to support teachers. The resources provided include Interim Connections playlists for use with interim assessments, lesson plans to support instruction, formative assessment strategies embedded in every resource, accessibility instructional strategies aligned to the ISAT, and professional development resources to support collaboration. Interim Connections playlists are developed by teachers across the Smarter Balance Consortium states. Each playlist is aligned to an Interim Assessment Block, or IAB, and provides information about student performance linked to instructional lessons and strategies to support student learning. There are 150 available Connections playlists for ELA and Math. Users can find the Interim Connections playlists by using the search feature and filtering for results. When searching for Interim Connections playlists in Tools for Teachers, you will want to filter your results. You can filter for this resource by grade, subject, claim, and target. For additional information and demonstrations about how to use the search feature, visit the SDE Comprehensive Assessment System webpage and access the Navigating Tools for Teachers training. Interim Connections playlists align to the interim assessment blocks and focus on one claim and one or more targets. For more information about claims and targets for ELA and Math, visit the SDE Comprehensive Assessment System webpage training section. Student performance progressions included in each interim playlist describe what students know and can do at each level, above, near, and below, relative to the standards aligned to the claim and target. Progressions can be used by teachers to help plan instruction for groups or individual students using interim assessment data. This ensures lessons are aligned to standards and allows for growth toward proficiency on grade level claims and targets. This example shows an Interim Connections playlist for 5th grade ELA Claim 2, Writing Target 8. This claim and target align to Writing Standards 2 and 3. Notice the topic column of the progressions chart. Writing Standard 2D reads, use precise language and domain-specific vocabulary to inform about or explain the topic. This standard, along with the progressions, appear in the last row on the Performance Progressions chart. Standard 3D, use concrete words and phrases and sensory details to convey experiences and events precisely, is broken into 2 progressions, one for sensory language and the other for concrete words and phrases. Each appears as a separate row on the progressions chart with instructional resources aligned to that standard and skill instruction. This is one place teachers can find an instructional resource for the specific standards aligned to the claim and target of this Interim Connections playlist. A complete list of instructional resources for this playlist can also be found underneath the grade, claim, target, and standards listing. Tools for Teachers instructional resources provide lesson plans created by teachers and vetted through a multi-step preview process. Each resource includes an overview of the lesson or activity, learning goals, success criteria, and a step-by-step instructional sequence. These lessons are available to be downloaded and have the materials linked and available for download within the lessons. Each instructional resource also includes formative assessment strategies embedded throughout and accessibility strategies for lesson activities. Searching for instructional resources is simple. Select your grade, subject, claim, and target. Note that when filtering, you must select filters in order from grade level down in order to reach the most targeted resources. For additional information and demonstrations about how to use the search feature, be sure to visit the Comprehensive Assessment System webpage and access the Navigating Tools for Teachers training. Let's dig into the instructional resources available in Tools for Teachers. When you access an instructional resource, a navigation pane opens on the left side of the screen. From this pane, you can click directly to the step-by-step portion of the lesson. Here, you will find the embedded Formative Assessment and Accessibility Strategies. Click on the attachments in the pane, and you'll be taken directly to the handouts or supports included in the lesson. Each attachment can be downloaded for use with the instructional resource. For a detailed description of the accessibility strategies used in the resource, click on the link in the navigation pane. Additional information about formative assessment strategies and accessibility strategies in the Tools for Teachers will be covered in subsequent slides of this presentation. Another feature of the instructional resource that is helpful in planning intervention is the Things to Consider section. The basic skills a student must show to reach proficiency in the aligned standards for the resource are listed in this section. Lastly, the navigation pane allows users to click directly on the formative assessment strategies in the resources. Smarter Balanced has identified a formative assessment process of 4 steps to help teachers plan and provide ongoing feedback to students. The first step is to clarify the intended learning target with students. The second step happens during instruction to elicit evidence of learning. This informs the teacher about what students know and can do. Step 3 requires teachers to interpret evidence collected in Step 2 to determine student knowledge related to the learning goal and success criteria. The opportunities for teachers to interpret evidence is clearly outlined and stated in each instructional resource in Tools for Teachers. The final step in using formative assessment strategies is to act on the evidence, provide feedback to the students, and make instructional changes to meet student needs. All Tools for Teachers instructional resources include the complete formative assessment process as a part of the lesson planning. Formative assessment strategies are embedded throughout every resource to provide teachers with the tools to deliver effective instruction and gauge student learning. In this example, the strategies embedded in the resource include a gallery walk, think aloud, collect and display, and fist of 5. These formative strategies are found within the instructional step-by-step, as well as outlined in a separate section as shown on this slide. Additionally, Tools for Teachers allows users to search for all available formative assessment strategies to integrate into classroom instruction. Using the search feature for formative assessment will allow you to filter for grade and subject. Formative assessment strategies are not claim or target specific, so those filters will not be available. For additional information and demonstrations, be sure to access the Navigating Tools for Teachers training on the SDE Assessment webpage. Tools for Teachers defined accessibility as multi-tiered strategies to support all students individually based on their unique needs and preferences. These strategies are embedded into each instructional resource and available as a repository with details of how the strategy can be used to support instruction. There are currently 54 accessibility strategies included and detailed in Tools for Teachers. Each strategy includes a navigation pane and details how to use the strategy, things to consider during implementation, and a connection to the strategy that provides a link to a sample item where the strategy is used on an assessment. Accessibility strategies are searchable in the same way as formative assessment strategies, by grade and content area. Now let's look at how Tools for Teachers organizes the accessibility strategies for instruction. Each strategy indicates what type of support it provides. Line Reader is an example of a universal tool. Universal tools are available to all students based on student preference and selection. Masking is available as a designated support for students for whom an adult or team has indicated the need for these supports, and the need is documented. A multiplication table is an accommodation available only to students with documentation of the need through a formal IEP plan or 504. Note that these levels of support are additive. Students with IEPs or 504 plans may also use designated supports and universal tools. Tools for Teachers also connects the accessibility strategies to assessment through a direct link to the Usability, Accessibility, and Accommodations Guidelines, or UOG document. This link can be found on the right side of the page under each accessibility strategy. The UOG details each accessibility tool as it is allowable within the ISAT interim and summative assessment. The final tool we will cover today that is offered in Tools for Teachers is professional learning resources. These resources mimic the design of an instructional resource, but are designed with educators in mind. You can find professional learning resources on interim assessments, summative assessments, and many more topics. These resources are designed to be used as a professional development. If your staff is interested in learning more about Tools for Teachers and all it has to offer, check out the Smarter Balanced Ecosystem Professional Learning Resource. It provides step-by-step directions, attachments, and activities to lead staff through exploring Tools for Teachers. Be sure to access the Navigating Tools for Teachers training to learn more about the search filters. Thank you for your time today. If you have additional questions related to Tools for Teachers, you may contact the coordinators listed on this slide.